Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our AI Playground, regular weekly sessions when we experiment with new AI tools every week. Today is really an interesting tool. I discovered it a few weeks ago and I was looking forward to actually exploring it with you, my colleagues. I don't see any students today here, I think, in the audience, which is maybe a good thing. We can just talk about our pedagogical points of view, but I think this is one of the tools that I will actually teach my students to use, because this is an amazing way to browse the internet. It's a new way of browsing internet. Let's just do a quick checkup on the chat on Zoom. We are talking today about Perplexity. Have you tried this already? Have you used this tool already? Just say yes or no in the chat, so I know whether some of you are familiar. If you're already using it, maybe you can also help me and give me some advice on where the interesting hidden features are. All right, so most of you have not tried this yet, but some of you have briefly, or maybe not even briefly. Wonderful. So it's going to be a new tool for many of you, and it's very exciting to me, because I think the old way of browsing internet is kind of becoming obsolete really quickly. I heard one of the speakers, one of the experts in AI, say that this is a Google search killer. So we are going to explore a Google search killer today. Let's see. So what's the difference between, just a little brief, I know that all of you are becoming experts in AI because you're with me every week. So let's just wrap up a quick intro with the idea of what's the difference between browsing the internet, browsing on, on Google, Googling something, as opposed to using ChatGPT. And why would we need another tool? Does anyone want to say something before I demonstrate the difference?
Maybe more specific results.
Mm-hmm. Where do you get the more specific results? In Google?
In AI, I think.
Perhaps. And other.
I will say that the main advantage is like you can tailor and you can maximize your search with ChatGPT. With Google, you play something and you don't have such a freedom in order, to tailor and, do it, specific search to the search, more specialized search. This is my, perception that with ChatGPT, I can control better and tailor better my search. This is my opinion.
I think you also can talk with him. I feel like he's my friend sometimes. I can discuss things with him. So the discourse is making a lot of difference for me.
Mm-hmm.
This is very worried, eh? This is very worried, I have to say, but this is true.
Well, it is a very exciting development. Actually, we all needed that friend. I think maybe some of us belong to some kind of research lab, or like a very active group of people that can actually communicate our crazy ideas and research ideas all the time. But most of us probably aren't part of any such group. So having this ChatGPT friend is just amazing. It's like a TA, it's like a idea bouncer kind of thing. So you really can do amazing and interesting things with it. Now, let me just demonstrate briefly the difference between let's see. I was thinking about a topic. Claudia says that I have not succeeded to find something that browsers academic papers better than Google Scholar, Perplexity, and others didn't work well for this. Okay, wonderful. So let's check this out together. So let's see. We have well, of course there are differences. I'm going to share my screen now. Just one moment. Of course, there are differences between just a regular Google and Google Scholar. These are very different things, of course. So let's begin just with regular Google and just distinguish the difference between Googling something and working with AI like ChatGPT, Bing, and then go straight to Perplexity. So let's think of a topic we can Google. For example, I have a question. I've heard a lot about new AI startup by Elon Musk, but I don't have no idea what it is about. So let's find out. I'm going to ask a question because, you know, Google is also working with questions. What's a new Elon Musk's AI startup? Does anyone know here? Maybe you guys can also verify the information we're going to see now. So what's the new Elon Musk startup is about? What is about? Mark. And, you know, as we know, Google, what we get articles, different publications, news, sometimes videos, and sometimes also like the related searches. We have some additional prompts with questions here, especially, right? People also ask. This is very useful when you Google things, right? You get to also explore additional questions. And there is like a kind of a very short answer now Google offering recently. I also noticed whenever you search something, you get like a short response and then you get all the list of articles and videos. Okay, so this is one way to find out. So the AI startup, which Musk announced in July, seeks to understand the true nature of the universe. Of course, not ambitious at all, just like all things Elon Musk does, right? Okay, let's move on to Bing. When you let's first of all chat with ChatGPT. One moment, I'm gonna go to my ChatGPT. I'm gonna start.
Elena, a question.
Yes.
When we Google, we know that the results that we get, the way it is ordered, it depends on how much you pay, for example, in order to be ranked first or second. Does that apply to ChatGPT as well?
Well, interesting. Well, Google is not only about paid ads. I think Google has a very sophisticated algorithm where they promote articles according to the relevance, according to the keywords. So it's not only about paid ads for sure. And of course, there are news and all kinds of things. With ChatGPT, well, let's now check together. First of all, the regular ChatGPT 3.5. It's not even connected to Google. Let's just make this also clear and remind it to everyone, because we have the new connected, ChatGPT version that is connected to the internet. One moment, I'm sorry for this. Okay, so this is ChatGPT 3.5, which is a free one. I think the information that is updated here is up until the most recent one was up until April 2024. I'm not sure if it's also relevant to ChatGPT 3.5 or only the new one, the ChatGPT 4. In any case, it's not connected to Google. Okay, so whenever you ask the same, let's ask the same question here. So I'm gonna go to this window and ask this question in ChatGPT. Just to demonstrate that, let's see what ChatGPT. Okay, so it says that as of my last knowledge update in January 2023. So it's not April. I think ChatGPT 4 was updated in April. Here we get the most updated knowledge up until January 2023. I don't have specific information on any new AI startups by Elon Musk. Okay, that's the answer we get from ChatGPT. Now, in our first session in this AI playground, who remembers which tool allows us to actually access ChatGPT 4 for free? What was the tool?
Bing.
Bing, right? It was
Bing,
Microsoft
Bing.
Edge Bing, right? So if you don't pay for a paid version in ChatGPT, you cannot get access to the internet through ChatGPT, right? So you can work with all kinds of questions and brainstorming and writing text and doing many different things that you probably are doing with ChatGPT, but not internet search, because this is not a search engine unless your information is located up until like that date, January 2023. Maybe then you can ask to search for information, right, before the specific date. So since this is not updated up until today, you cannot discover recent news and things that happened recently. So let's move to Bing quickly, just to see what Bing answers to this question, this same question. And where is my Bing? It's in Edge, right? I need to go to Microsoft Edge. So we have a search, we have chat, right? We have chat in Bing. Again, this is Microsoft Bing. Whoever missed that session, we have it right here. We have search and we have chat. So let's go to maybe chat. Ask me anything and ask the same question. We know that Bing allows us to access ChatGPT 4 for free. Let's see. So what's a new mustard? About searching. So it's now searching the internet basically because it didn't find it in its own model. Okay, and according to the news, now the difference between, you can already see a kind of difference between Google, right, where you just ask a question and get an endless list of articles, like thousands, right? You can just get lost there browsing and searching for your answers. In Bing, you actually have an answer that is already a compilation of different sources that Bing selected based on the question and even produces an image for you. All right, so this is a big interesting bonus that Bing offers. But let's now ask the same question in Perplexity. So what is maybe the disadvantage? How many sources do we have? We have a few sources here. We can check the information. We have like 5 articles and the image, right? And we can also check whether the information written here is correct. So we can go back to the original source and double check. We can also click on the article straight from the Bing, right? So this is a new way of searching for answers, right? Where we get an answer, we also get some kind of reference with the clickable reference to the articles. Now, Perplexity, this is a new tool we're going to discuss today. I want everyone to create their own account because you don't have it yet. So I'm sharing the link in the chat. Please just click on it. I'm going to enlarge my screen a little bit. And I'm going to show you one thing that I want to do right away. I like the black screen because it's better for looking at the screen when you work a lot in front of the computer. So I'm going to show you how to make it. Not everyone knows. It's very easy. Just go to your settings. Once you log in with your Gmail, if you want me to do this for you all as well, maybe I can just do this in another account. So we can, because here I'm not connected. So when you click on Perplexity, this is the screen that you get. Now I'm not signed up or I am logged in from my regular Mizrahi Elena account. Okay, never mind. So now what I want to do, I want to make the appearance, instead of light, regular system, I want to make it dark because I think it's nice. Okay, so where I found this, if you also like the dark mode, like I do, go to the settings next to your name after you do the login, sign up, login. Click on the settings, and you have the first word appearance. You can change it to dark or light. Okay, so this is one thing that I wanted to show you from the beginning, because by default, it's just as your system works. So if it's all light, then you get it light. Okay, I know that some actually people have it dark from the beginning because their system is set to dark, but mine is light, so I saw it light, now I changed it to dark. Now, there are 3 major buttons here: Home, Discover, and Library. So let's go home. And by the way, you remember that we have also Copilot thing called, right, in Bing, which is very, very handy here right away. So it looks like, to me, it looks like a little bit closer to ChatGPT thing, right? Because it has similar outline. It's not like Bing, not like Google. It's very similar to ChatGPT the way it looks, but it works differently. Because this is, first of all, pay attention, this is a free account. I haven't upgraded yet, even though I think I will try to upgrade because it's the same $20, but you can upgrade to Claude 2 or ChatGPT 4. You know what? I'm going to upgrade to Claude 2 because Claude is an amazing model. I hear a lot of people, a lot of educators actually say that Claude produces better results than ChatGPT. We will have a session about Claude probably soon together as well. So I think it's worth upgrading and to check what it gives us. But for now, we are just in a free version. Okay, it's free version. It gives you access probably to Claude and ChatGPT 4. Now, let's ask the same question, right? So it's not this one. I just need to copy the question here. So ChatGPT doesn't know, because if you're not paying for the paid version and you don't have access to the internet, it wouldn't know. because it's a new information. It's a pretty new startup, that's why. And Perplexity happens to know, right? It says it's a new startup called XAI, aims to understand the true nature of the universe and will debate in artificial intelligence technology to a select group. Okay, I want to go back because I wanted to actually activate Copilot. Activation of Copilot is crucial. So for those of you who tried Perplexity, didn't see like the advantages of any special features, I want to show you a few things that you actually try this again, and maybe you will fall in love with this tool. So first of all, have your Copilot always on. The reason you want to have your Copilot on all the time is because it produces additional questions for you to clarify your inquiry, right? So when you ask something, when you search for something, sometimes you think it's clear, but the AI, this tool will actually ask you some questions back to make sure that it understands what you want exactly. So it makes the process more user-friendly. So always activate your Copilot. This is tip number 1. Okay, now let's ask the same question with the Copilot on. And then we will move on to the other 2 excellent features. One is called Focus and another one is called File. So let's first of all see what Copilot does. First of all, it as opposed to Bing, right? In Bing, we had 5 sources. This is what usually happens in Bing. It uses ChatGPT-4 plus the internet, but it usually produces the results based on 4 or 5 websites on average. From my personal experience, maybe I'm wrong, but I've played a lot, and usually I get 4 or 5 internet sources on Bing. This tool, I heard about it, and it's actually like true. You saw that it investigated 14 sources, right? It read all the 14 articles right away, and it produces the answer based on the information found in the 14 articles. So you didn't have to pay for ChatGPT-4, right? And you don't go to Bing because not all people love Bing, and Bing has its advantages and disadvantages. So this is a third tool that I think we should all explore and see if it's that amazing. Like as of now, it sounds wow to me, and some people again call it a Google search killer. So maybe it is the one, because whatever you're searching on Google, why would you search on Google if you have AI at your fingertips here for free with the Google all together with the summary of 14 articles instead of us going from link to link and exploring the information? The AI does this for us right away, and then we can also go back and check the information. We can click on the sources, we get the answer with the
Yeah, can you ask? Sorry, can I ask something? Can you ask him to use, for example, only academic?
yes,
You can?
this is the next thing I wanted to show you all, because we talked about general search, right? Why people call this Google search killer, because it really is amazing in the way it searches information in general. But yes, let's go back to our home screen, and also Kostas raised his hand. Yes, did you have a question, Kostas, up until now? No, wonderful. So let's now move on to Vered's question about actually focusing on specific websites, files, articles on the internet. We don't want to search everything. We want to focus on some specific databases, right? So first of all, remember tip number 1: have your Copilot always on. We will see how it works in a few moments when we actually explore other questions. Now, the focus button does exactly what you wanted. You can actually ask Perplexity, the free version for now. I don't know what the paid one looks like, but you can actually ask to search in published academic papers instead of searching across the entire internet, right? Which is the default option. When you click on focus, so if you're with me experimenting right now, just click on home and click on focus. And then you see this menu, right? And then instead of all internet, you will ask Perplexity to work with you using only academic sources. Keep your Copilot on with you. And now we can actually go into some interesting questions that we can ask our students to research or explore. Or if I was a student, I needed to, if I were a student, right, I needed to prepare a presentation on a topic, I would go and search for the literature review in this amazing way, right? Instead of going to, well, Google Scholar is better because I don't know if it's better. It gives you like a long list and a never-ending list of papers, right? Will our students actually read all those papers to decide what the answer is, right? And some papers will be for, some papers will be against. There are many different things. So we have this great new AI tools that actually analyze all those papers just by clicking on a button, right? So let's ask a question. Maybe does anyone want to write their question in the chat? And I will copy paste. Or maybe you can say. If not, I can actually, do my own work because I'm working on developing a unit for my students. I need to come up with with a lesson, with a module for my course where I'm thinking of the idea would be for my students to set their career goals. And I don't want them just to browse the internet in general. I want to have some academic articles, some research that is on the topic of, setting your career goals, or maybe some kind of something related to soft skills. So let's think about it together. Do you want to post your question, or shall I just come up with my own question? How should students, maybe not students, maybe just people in general, how should career goals be set up? I don't know if it's a research question or just a general question, or I don't know. Let's browse the academic published articles to see if there is such a thing, because I want to find some articles for them to read about career choices, about setting up career goals. And my idea ultimately is for my students not to be afraid to set up the goals, because sometimes people are afraid of making choices, thinking that the decision they make is final, right? Which is something I want to remind them that it's never final. You can decide on something and then change your mind in a year or two. It's like long. Let's see. Now, what is your current career? You see, I have this question which is not clear even to me. So here is where Copilot comes in very handy, because it's going to kind of help me decide what I'm asking, and also to fine-tune the answer towards what I need. Okay, so what is your current career stage? Mid-career, senior career. Let me answer, because we are going to, this is for students. So I'm just gonna choose student, because this is for students, and I want students to actually read articles about career goals, setting career goals. So let's go next, send. Searching. There are 0 sources in academic. In academic articles, nothing has been published, but there are some things that it found in its own database, right? Self-assessment, career exploration, get smart goals, develop an action plan, and review and adjust. So you get kind of GPT answer with no academic papers behind, because it's not an academic question, perhaps.
Maybe you can try to write what are the predictors of career something development, maybe, or career success. Let's see if
yes, wonderful.
Career success, yeah, maybe. So it doesn't make sense that you would not find something. Let's see.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Predictors of career success, and now we have 8 sources. From the academic articles and semantic scholars. These are semantic scholars. Okay, so it actually gives us the answers, right, based on 8 academic sources. Right now, it's not browsing the internet in general, and we can also click on the reference and actually read the papers now and see if the papers. How do personality trait affect career success? This is also an interesting question, isn't it? But maybe let's, what role does education play in career success and how the work experience contribute? Let's go to personality traits, or maybe just stay with the original question and explore their sources. Let's see what it looks like. So when I click on it, when I click on the reference, mute. Okay, now it's better. Okay, so when I click on the source, it takes me to the article with information, with the citations and the graphs and
Lena,
yes.
Lena, question. Is there a way to ask this AI tool to give you answers that are based on direct quotes or citations from the original article?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I also was wondering whether we can ask, can you write a short article about it with the references in APA style? And I need at least 5 direct citations from the relevant sources. Is that what we want to find out, right? Let's see what they're gonna do for this for us. So can you write a short article about it with the references? And I need at least 5 direct citations from the relevant sources. So I combined my question and request in one thing, not the example of the best English, but it will understand. It understands typos and everything. Let's see, please provide specific sources or keywords you'd like article to be based on. And the sources you identified. You already identified it. See, it's not that smart. Maybe the paid version is better. You already identified. Search in Scholar. It goes back to, oh, you see, that's Search Scholar. And now it considers 25 sources. Oh my God, it's even better than whatever we had at the beginning, 8 sources. Okay, can you write a search? Okay, and we're getting an article now, Predictors of Career Success, a closer look, with the APA style references. I love it. I'm loving it. Oh my gosh. What else? Are we going to get some direct citations? No, it didn't do the direct citations. Here's the third article with direct citations. Okay, so it actually took the, I don't know if this is just taken from the article. I don't know if it got what I needed, because the direct citation, I meant citation, not just citing the article in brackets, right? But this is a kind of good beginning, right? Because we know that playing with AI, you don't expect to get a 100% perfect result just from the one little question. And it was really one little question. I didn't elaborate, right? I didn't say who I was. I didn't say who it was for. It was really just a really starting point of my idea for like a lesson module and thinking about career success predictors, which Vered actually suggested. And look, we have some references in APA style. We have some kind of beginning of a short article. Now, if I asked for a short article, what if I want it to be longer? I would like some. What is another way to say it's not a direct citation, right? Like citation from the article. I would like you to cite.
To quote?
Maybe to quote. Yeah. So I would like some quotes from these papers and 5 more paragraphs. Now, I like the idea that it's short, because I was thinking of a module, because I'm a language teacher, English teacher. I'm thinking of something for my pre-basic level students, like beginner level students, A2, a B1 level. So I don't really need a long academic article. So this is why I'm playing with Perplexity. I want you all guys to understand that this is not I hope this is not going to become for some of the researchers the way to write actually academic writing, because this is not what it does, not supposed to be doing. But for my teaching purposes, when I need to come up with a text for my teaching, and I don't want this text to be too academic on the one hand, real academic article, and or maybe too casual on the other hand. I just don't want to take something from the internet which was written randomly by someone. I love the way AI writes and compiles the ideas and actually does the literature review for me from the academic and non-academic sources. So for my teaching purposes, and then I'm not teaching the discipline, that's another thing, right? I'm not teaching the discipline here, I'm a language teacher. So for me, having the model that actually produces short texts with the information that is kind of more reliable than just a Google article, right? I can go back to academic papers and verify the information written. So it's kind of elevating my material, my teaching materials. But let's see, I would like some quotes from these papers and 5 more paragraphs if I wanted this to be addressed to a higher level students where they can read longer texts. So let's see if it can elaborate and add some paragraphs. Again, at once, can you rewrite the article you just provided? You see, it's a free version, so it's probably based on ChatGPT 3.5. It's not perfect, but it also is connected to Claude, so Claude is amazing. Can you rewrite the article you just provided with the same sources? Sure, here's the revised version. And there are some quotations. Oh my gosh, I asked for quotations and I got some quotations from the papers
but you have
I've never seen and read myself. This is crazy.
Elena, but you have to check if it's right, if it's actually right.
I know.
You double check with the Google Scholar, maybe.
Sometimes he's lying.
Yeah.
I know it does the hallucin. It's called GPT hallucinations, right? Reported like false facts, but we know that GPT can be lying a lot because it comes up with a random fact sometimes, not hallucinating, right? What I hope and believe is this with Perplexity and the way it works now. So it writes using the GPT model, right? So it has the model for writing, producing language. It's based there, but it produces information. It's supposed to produce information based on the articles now, right? So here I didn't give the articles myself. I wanted the AI to explore Google Scholar and identified some articles based on the topic that I've chosen. It did that for us, right? We just witnessed that, 24 sources. And now we also wanted to see whether it actually can cite in the APA style, and it both can cite and quote. Wow, it does that. And this is one of the skills I'm teaching my students in the advanced level courses, because when you teach academic writing, this is one of the major things that they have to learn, right? Some students are not even aware of what plagiarism is. They think that if they write in their own words, that's already not plagiarism, right? Without even citing. So the word citation, it got confused. Maybe I confused it, because citation means both quoting and actually referring to the source where your idea comes from. So, oh my God, I'm so excited with this. Just getting more and more excited. I think it's amazing, but it's also scary. Now I cannot ask my students to write something with the citations and assume that they did it themselves, because Perplexity can do it for them, right? All right, I have to stop sharing and listen to your quote and to your comments and questions, and maybe allow you to test this to yourself right now with the topic of your choice. Remember that we went into home and we clicked on find, and we moved from all the internet to the specific academic sources. So I'm going to stop sharing. We're going to have a little discussion now, discussing this, what happened now. Then I'm going to show you some extra and questions, comments, because I heard some noise, background noise. If not, I can read the comment in the chat. Any comments or questions?
Well, first, thank you very much. It was fascinating. Thank you, Elena.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
Elena, sorry, what would you use it for with your students? With the writing, it's a writing course?
So when I'm thinking of using it with my students, I'm not thinking about Epic, because in Epic, I mean, unless it's a university level advanced to a course where students actually should be taught to write in an academic way. And then there I really have a part of my course always teaching them about citations and APA style. And even when they produce their own presentations for a project, they have to for each sentence that they write on the slide, they have to produce a reference, just like in any scientific conference or academic conference. So I teach them this skill. I don't know, this is so new. I have to process it myself and decide what I'm going to use it for in the EPIC framework. But this definitely is a tool that our students will probably be using in their, seminar papers, masters, graduate studies, even for PhD, whatever topic that now you want to research. Why not use this as your starting point? It doesn't.
So basically, you're saying another question maybe that comes up from this, maybe when would you use Perplexity as opposed to just using Google?
Well, again, the reasons for using Perplexity has this feature of let's go back quickly, because yeah, I see what you mean. So there are two different Googles for me, especially when I think about Googling something in general. I mean, it's a matter of habit, which we're all addicted to Google. But I think that this all search is much more interesting in Perplexity than just a regular Google. When you Google, you need to be prepared to find a million websites and then have the time to go into each one of them or somehow identify what you actually want to read. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
Google is Google. It just gives you a long list of websites to go and start reading, exploring. What Perplexity does, based on your question, because again, in Google, we do just search words. We search by whatever topic or keywords. In Perplexity, we can actually ask questions, and people do ask questions in Google, but now Perplexity will give you an answer written by ChatGPT language model. So the answer will be in like a friendly advice, right? Whatever written by AI. But it's also based on all of the sources from the internet that is, it's done the Googling for you and it gives you the answer. So this is the difference. So Google is you do all the work from scratch. Perplexity provides you with the answer with the references from Google. Now, beyond Google, if you think about academic search, first of all, you have Google Scholar. Same concept, right? You go to Google Scholar, write your research question and get like long list of articles that you're supposed to somehow identify and decide what is worth reading and what is not, right? In Perplexity, it does that for you. It does the choice for you, the hard choice of, maybe even the idea, right? We will be also exploring other tools that do similar things, but the idea for academic reading and writing is to read a large number of papers, and also before you do that, you have to select a relevant paper. So when you go,
so it's like doing the literature review for you.
Yeah, exactly. So it does
it's kind of scary.
It is. It's scary and fascinating because, the pace of the internet being flooded with academic research and articles and sometimes not high quality, sometimes good quality, whatever. So it's scary, and I'm happy I finished my PhD so many years ago because I needed to start my PhD. You start, instead of having, 5,000 articles, now you have 50,000 articles, and there you need to choose what to read, right? So
Elena,
yeah.
I have to say something based on my experience with Claude, because I asked it for, and that was a mistake because I was later told not to use it for academic purposes, but I asked it for a number of articles that I needed, and it gave me a list of articles that were super relevant for my paper that I'm writing right now. And just by chance, I said, I'd like to read the abstract or read the whole article. and I didn't find not even one article in Google Scholar. And when I asked Claude, I couldn't find any. Can you explain that? And he said, I didn't find either, but because it was important to you, I fabricated titles that would be interesting to you and that would sound scientific.
Wow.
So that was the last time I used it for academic purposes.
Yeah, well, this is Claude. I mean, what we are doing here, I mean, this is the combination. So again, we have to distinguish between Google being a collection of things that have been published already, and GPT and Claude and Bing and Bard and whatever AI models that are just language models writing for us. So what is the idea of Perplexity and some other tools we will explore further is to merge the both, to combine the both, to marry them, right? So we have the articles and we have the language models, and we want them to work together, right? So the language model can actually investigate real articles, not just hallucinate some and produce some list of articles. So probably the prompt wasn't accurate. And I don't think whether Claude has the feature, because I haven't explored enough of Claude. What Perplexity does, it actually is a GPT model or Claude model going into the internet, Google Scholar, or Google in general, and exploring the topic for you, reading the articles, summarizing them for you, and giving you the answer with the language. So this is innovative. Now, what happened now, I know that I require my students to cite their sources and to use APA style. And I wanted to test whether Perplexity can do it for us, and it did. Now, when we go back to the career goals, if I go back to the library, right, to the previous results, let's check that the articles actually exist. I mean, we have the articles here in the references.
You also need to double check the quotes, Elena, because sometimes
I mean,
you cannot find the quotes.
Double check that. I don't say that it's 100% accurate, but it should be the way, you know, other people talked about it. It should be accurate. Now, it didn't came up with the articles that do not exist, because they do exist, and you have a link to the articles. You can click on the link directly from Perplexity to the sources link. You have all these articles where, you know, kind of analyzed for this new article to be produced. I believe so, right? That requires time to check, but let's just do a quick check. So we have
I tried to cite a book. It said that it couldn't do it for me, but it can help me how to do it, but it actually did it. So it was a bit weird.
Yeah, what say it again, yeah? What did you ask?
I asked it to cite an academic book, MLA style. It said that it can't do it for me, but it can help me do it.
Oh,
but,
okay.
But it actually did it.
Yeah.
It actually cited the book. Like it gave me instructions on how to do it, and it gave me an example, and the citing is correct.
Yeah.
So
you can see this is what really happened live right now in front of our eyes. We thought of a topic, predictors of career success. It analyzed 24 academic sources, and now we have the article written with the citation. So we have this idea that, for example, the factors can be broadly categorized into human capital, environmental factors, motivational factors, and career management behavior. Now, where is this information coming from? It's supposed to be based on the article 2021 by these authors. Now, we can, ideally, this is what now, instead of teaching my students to actually do the APA style, I'm going to be teaching them how to double check that what is written is actually accurate.
Yeah.
It's excellent practice for, you know, academic reading skills, because they will have to go, you know what I'm going to do for sure. I had this idea already for a long time, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask this GPT now to, in the article that it created, add 5 facts that are made up, with the citations made up. So I'm asking it deliberately to create, in addition to the work that is supposed to be done, so it will require me to double check that what is written currently actually is based on what it was supposed to analyze. I believe so, but I will double check. I will ask deliberately to create some made up quotes, and then my students' work will be to read the article and find those quotes that were made up. The problem is that if they do it with AI, they can ask AI if they already have their proficiency, but probably they don't. But they will in a few years, right? Thinking forward, thinking about the future. The students can ask AI to read the article and identify the false information or quotes that are not authentic. I believe that AI will be able to do it as well. But as an exercise, at the beginning stages, most of my students will not know how to do it and what to ask. So this will be the exercise. I will have an article which is original and has original information, authentic information with real articles, plus some imaginary made-up articles, and the learning objective for that also to demonstrate to students that that whatever they read, they have to be critical. They do not have to trust. They cannot trust. And I think from day to day, we can trust less and less what we see with our own eyes, and we have to double check. So we will be probably reading articles and double checking if the information is real or not. I think this could be.
Elena, can I add to this?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
one of the basic skills we teach in our C1, even B2, C1, C2 level is that critical thinking, and we encourage students to ask questions, to analyze the data that they have, and to debunk or refute myths and misconceptions. And we teach them to differentiate between opinions and facts. I think that tool can be used as a means to find out whether certain like wording of a quote or whatever, or a sentence is a fact or an opinion, and that is a skill we need our graduates to be able to perform.
Exactly. Yeah. And in the past, I mean, I wouldn't be able to probably produce it myself, or I could, but it's much more time consuming to actually take an original article and insert some wrong information and ask. But now with the ChatGPT, with so much information that is not authentic or not true or with mistakes, this is a critical skill. Do you have any other ideas for using this? Maybe.
I have
An example.
something to add based on a recent experience that I'm having right now. These tools generally, I saw there's a tool, I forgot the name, that you can pay, but so these ones, they will basically access open access papers. So in my area, my field, to have most of the good ones are still subscription ones. So it won't have access to maybe to abstract, and that's it. So one thing that it worked for me, I've done it right now. I was testing also with Perplexity, is it finds some free papers which weren't the best what I was looking for, and then I say, okay, so now give me a set of keywords so I can look in databases. So it gave me about 10 keywords, copy pasted into all of them into Google Scholar, and then right on the top I found a whole bunch of relevant papers. I could scroll down, but yeah, the most relevant are first. So it's sort of a workaround that you can use it to help you search in Google Scholar.
Wow, that's an amazing idea. Not just Google Scholar, also when we work with students in higher education, they actually have access through their libraries to paid databases with all the paid articles. Wow, that's an amazing idea. I remember myself as a PhD student already many years ago, but struggling with, like, I had a bigger topic idea in mind, but what are you looking for? What to search, right? The keywords. And this is what my students also are struggling with, because when we work on projects, each one chooses a project from a completely different field. So I cannot actually, help them identify those keywords, search words for each specific topic of their project. And this is an amazing idea of actually, extracting the keywords for the databases. Wow, yeah. And it's kind of academic based, because the free access academic papers are there already, and we just extract the keywords to go on and search now in the paid databases. And wow, amazing idea. Thank you so much. Yeah. What other questions or comments, please?
So I'm going to add in here. While I've been wondering how to extract information from a book I'm reading and to turn it into materials for class and maybe an exam. So I tried it now, and I had to try it a few times. I had to add the prompts. Your advice was very helpful. And then I asked what someone, Miriam, wrote to turn it into a B2 level. And because of your other workshops, Elena, I have been writing much more detailed prompts. And then I finally just tried writing multiple choice questions on it. And again, because of your detailed prompts, I was very, very, very focused, and I spelled it all out. And it is turning out excellent raw material. In fact, the raw materials now are not nearly as raw as all the stuff I've been trying till now with AI. So I'm very grateful to you. Thank you.
Oh, amazing. And then one little tip, in addition to that, I just heard again from one of the gurus in AI technology in Israel. I'm attending the webinars, the Mufat Institute in Israel, that always supply interesting information. So what they say that the idea is that there is no better prompter than GPT itself, than AI itself. You're absolutely right that you have to be so detailed and so focused on exactly what you need. Sometimes it's hard. It does require a lot of work. So it could be a back and forth process. So whatever prompts, whatever details you came up with, give it to ChatGPT and ask to refine it as a prompt, as a better prompt. And then your prompt will, it will adjust the prompt itself to a much better and higher level. So then whenever you use it next time as a prompt, you will get even better results. So this is a little tip I just was reminded of. I think it was 2 days ago, or whenever that webinar took place. And another thing we haven't looked at yet inside the Perplexity is that you could also upload files. So the regular free version of ChatGPT 3.5, if you're not paying for the paid one, does not allow you to upload files, right? Here, you can upload PDF files, texts, images. I guess there is a limit in the free version. You see it says 3 left today, so you can do 3 per day, but it's, it's there. It's free for you, unless you want to upgrade. I will probably upgrade because of Claude, so I heard so much praise about Claude. So you have the option to upload your book, your file, your stuff here, which actually raises another important question we always have to keep in mind, which is, ethics, copyright, data protection, all those, right? For now, the problem is that everything you upload, everything you, I think that they have updated their copyright terms and conditions now in OpenAI. So the latest news, again, from that workshop that I heard, is that whatever you produce with ChatGPT, with AI writing, it becomes, you can protect, it's yours with the copyrights, like you can protect it with your own copyrights, on the one hand. On the other hand, you will also be responsible for putting in the information that is copyright protected. So if, for like an example, if you're using a book or an article that has copyright protection and you give it to ChatGPT and based on that you produce something, you have to make sure that, and it's very easy to find out what you've given to the AI, because it's there and it can be found out. So if you're using material that is copyright, if you're uploading files there, you may be charged, like you may be sued or something. I don't know how it works, but it's something that we have to be careful about for sure, especially as educators, and we have to educate our students to be careful with copyright protected materials, with the things that they take from the university or college library, which is paid access, copyright protected articles. They cannot just give it to free, open Perplexity, create something and then claim that it's theirs, because on the one hand it is now, you can copyright protect your creation with OpenAI, but you will be also responsible for the other side for using copyright protected information.
Yelena, although we're using it for fair use, like in Israeli, according to Israeli law, if it's for fair use, for teaching, learning purposes, you can be sued.
Well, I'm not saying that they will. I mean, it's hard to. It's a very gray area. On the one hand, yes, for sure, you have a lot of flexibility, kind of a lot of whether and how you use. So if it's material that you have access as a lecturer and your students have access because they pay to the library, of course, you can use it for your class use freely, like for your educational purposes. The problem with the copyright becomes clear when you try to first of all, when it becomes available somewhere online beyond your closed database framework, beyond your, I don't know, password protected Moodle. So never post anything freely online. The problem is that with ChatGPT and all these models, when you give them the files, they escape to the internet. You're feeding the ChatGPT with the copyright protected files, sometimes with PDF files.
So basically what you're saying is if we're using original articles, we have adapted them to our courses, but now we want to simplify them. Like we have a C1 level and we want to simplify the text to a B2 level. The moment we upload the text into one of the AI programs, it becomes theirs. And it might be originally protected because, we used it for internal use and therefore it was not spread all over, but now.
So it's not becoming theirs. First of all, it's not theirs, and you can use copyright. I mean, if you downloaded an article from the library, it's copyright protected, and you want to work with it with ChatGPT, you can do that. So, but you have to go into your settings and look at the privacy and data protection settings that you have, because you can, first of all, turn off the data sharing from your own personal account. This is something probably we need to go
in ChatGPT and all other AIs.
And I think all other tools as well, because by default, they really encourage users to feed in the data because they want to grow in terms of their language data and access to different sources. On the other hand, if we want to protect ourselves and be ethical, I guess, we have to have the power of what we want to share with these tools and what we want to keep.
So can you repeat what we have to go into?
So in ChatGPT itself, there is, let's go, ChatGPT, we have settings.
Settings, okay.
And in your name. And then you have data control. And with export data, first of all, keep your chat history, right, if you don't want to lose it. But with export data, so it's exporting data, general, maybe it's in general theme, clear chats, shared links manage. You see, I don't know. We need to read the terms and
I just want to add to that. We had a session last week with Professor Orit Yafori about the copyrights issue. Yeah. And there was a discussion, we just started a discussion about it. There is two different issues, the copyright issue and the ethics issue and the fair use that you mentioned. Yeah. And I think all of that, there is some ideas, and we will have another session about it, to see how to integrate all these together and to see how to handle the ChatGPT. Copyright issue, it's more clear, because if you take something that it's already had a copyright and you integrate it, and then the outcome is still with copyrights. But how to deal with fair use and the 20% that we have, this is a different issue, and there will be another session about it. We'll do that, and we in Meital will do that, and maybe let you know about it.
Yeah,
I will. A big discussion about it.
I will invite everyone. Yeah, this is very important.
Will that be an open session for other people to join?
Yeah, of course. It will be, I think, in Hebrew, but we will maybe do something all together with the Impact project. Lena will think about the copyright issue in the international webinar that will be relevant for all partners around the world.
Wonderful.
That will be great.
Very much. Thank you, Ellie. And thank you, everyone. It's 11 So we are about to finish. Please go to Perplexity, explore it, try to upload some files, see how it analyzes the text that you already have. Do some interesting experiments with academic papers, with the internet in general. And there are other things that we haven't discussed, but you can search for YouTube videos. You can also search for inside Perplexity. You can also search for Reddit threads, which is, and for those of you who are science teachers and you need some work with math, you know that ChatGPT is terrible with mathematics, but you have access to what it's called. Remind me what it is. Focus on Wolfram Alpha. That's the computational knowledge engine. We will have another session about it in our playground because it's very, very interesting to see many different AI tools that have been developed. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and I see you next
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Elena.
Bye.